Okay, 8th grade. We are going to be starting a new chapter. We're going to be covering chapter 6, so we're starting with lesson 1, finding square roots. So make sure that you guys are taking notes so that you can use them on your test and to help you with your homework. We're going to be going over some key terms and key ideas for this lesson, and then we'll go into some examples that you guys examples of what you guys would be doing for your homework and things. So square root of a number is a number that when multiplied by itself equals the given number. So when you square something, like if you were doing 4 squared, you'd be doing 4 times 4. What the square root is, it's the opposite of that. So once you get your answer, finding the square root is basically going backwards to find what that original number was that you multiplied by itself. So a perfect square is a number with integers as its square root. So that would be whole numbers. Every positive number has a positive and a negative square root. So all positive numbers are going to have a positive and a negative square root. So the little sign that we use for square root is called the radical sign, and it's used to represent a square root. So this is called the radical sign. Then you have the radicand, and that is the number under the radical sign. So those are some of your key terms. Some other things to remember as well. When we're looking at square roots. So positive square root is just going to be that radical sign. So the square root of 16 is going to be 4. Negative square root is going to look like this. It's going to be a negative sign and then that radical sign. So negative square root of 16 is negative 4. And then if it's asking for both square roots, it's going to have the positive and negative sign with the radical sign. So positive, negative square root of 16 is going to be positive and a negative 4. So you would give 4 and negative 4 would be the answers for positive and negative 16. So those are some of your key terms and main ideas for this lesson. So I'm going to start going over some examples with you guys that you will probably see on your homework. All right, so finding square root of a perfect square. So this one asks you to find the square roots of 49. Remember, we said that positive numbers are going to have positive and negative square roots. Because when you think about it, 7 times 7 is going to equal 49, as well as negative 7 times negative 7 will equal that positive 49. So the square roots of 49 are 7 and negative 7. So if you have a positive and it's asking for the square roots of that positive number, make sure that you've got its positive and negative square roots. Some other examples of finding square roots. So here we have it wants the square root of 25. So because 5 squared is 25, the square root of 25 would equal that radical sign with 5 squared, which is going to be 5. So the square root of 25 is 5. Now, the negative square root of 9 over 16, okay, we know that 3 over 4 squared is going to equal that 9 over 16. So you have a negative square root 9 over 16 equals that negative, that 3 over 4 squared under that square root, that radical sign. And that's going to give us an answer. The negative square root of 9 over 16 is negative 3 over 4. And plus and minus square root of 2.25, because 1.5 squared is 2.25. So the positive and negative square root of 2.25 is going to be the positive negative square root of 1.5 squared. It's going to be 1.5 and a negative 1.5, because it's asking for positive and negative square roots. So those are some other examples of finding the square root. Some other problems that you're going to see in your homework are going to be evaluate the expressions. So basically this just means it wants you to solve the problem. So letter A is 5 times square root of 36 plus 7. So 5 times the square root of 36 plus 7. Our square root of 36 is 6. So 5 times 6 plus 7. 5 times 6 is 30. That 30 plus 7 gives us an answer of 37. Letter B, 1/4 plus square root of 18 over 2. So we have 1/4 plus the square root of 18 over 2. That 18 over 2 is 9. So 1/4 plus the square root of 9. Square root of 9 is 3. So 1/4 plus 3 gives us a 3 and 1/4. So you're just solving those problems. Our final example is going to be a word problem that uses square roots. So this word problem says the area of a crop circle is 45,216 square feet. What is the radius of the crop circle? So to find area of a circle is pi r squared. So we're trying to find this radius. So we know that the area is 45,216. Pi is 3.14 r squared. So we want that r squared by itself. We divide both sides by 3.14. So 45,216 divided by 3.14 is 14,400 equals pi squared. So we need to figure out, we need to get that r by itself, and to get that r by itself, we need to square it, or we need to find the square root. So we put a radical sign over both of those numbers. And the square root of 14,400 is 120. So our radius for this crop circle is 120 feet. And those are some examples of how to find square roots and using word problems, using square root to find the answers for word problems. Your assignment is to do the on your own questions that are on your assignment list, and we will go over those in class when we meet on Zoom. So have those ready to go, and I will see you guys in class.